Liverpool 2, Everton 0, Derby Day triumph for the Reds. Jurgen Klopp's side come out 2-0 winners, with Mohammed Salah being the difference maker on the day against an Everton side who were reduced to 10 men in the first half. Liverpool back to winning ways. Hey, they're currently sat top of the table. I'm not getting ahead of myself by any means, but it looks pretty good whenever I see Liverpool top of the table. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. Yes, it's the instant match reaction to Liverpool's victory in the Merseyside derby against Everton. Everton reduced to 10 men in the first half when Ashley Young saw a red card for a double yellow card offences. But then Liverpool took charge. Liverpool dominated possession. Liverpool dominated. And despite the fact that Liverpool weren't exactly clicking in the final third, they eventually managed to get the breakthrough. And when they did get the breakthrough from the penalty spot, you knew that that result was only going to end up one way. There was going to be no comeback or any sort of late salvage from Everton. You just knew that Liverpool were going to go on and see out the victory. And they did, with Salah rounding off the performance and victory and result by adding a second in injury time. Brilliant result. I'm happy. I'm very happy about the result. Very happy indeed. I'm glad that football is back. I'm glad that the Premier League is back. And of course, my weekend is setting up brilliantly now. That's the only upside to these 12-30 games for Liverpool. We have had so many in the past couple of years alone that, you know, they can make or break your weekend. And obviously this being a victory and this being against a rival, it's always sweet to beat Everton. And it's even made sweeter today with the fact that Salah scored twice, Everton got reduced to 10 men, and we kept a clean sheet. And even sweeter for me personally, because I predicted a 2-0 victory in my pre-match predictions, and that's exactly what happened. We're going to talk about the game because there was a bit of controversy as well, which we will address. We're going to talk about the moments in the game. We're going to talk about the goals, the performances, the aftermath of this game, and so on and so forth. But before we go any further, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you're new. Both things always and very greatly appreciated. And of course, for you lot to get involved in the comment section as well. Talk to me, people, about this game. Talk to me about the game, the performances, the result, the controversy, anything else that you want to talk about. Get involved down below in the comment section, because I'm sure it'll make for interesting and great reading with all your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it. So do get involved down there. I do encourage it. I'd love to hear from you all. But without further ado, let's get on with the game. Liverpool 2, Everton 0. Liverpool back to winning ways, sat top of the table. What more could I ask for from this game? Absolutely brilliant. Liverpool, for the most of the first half, played some brilliant football. Whether it was on the counter-attack or whether it was building up play, Liverpool played some brilliant stuff. It just wasn't quite clicking in the final third. The final third saw often an overhit pass, a movement that wasn't quite reading with the player who was making that pass. Just something wasn't quite clicking in the final third there. That obviously caused Liverpool to have a few problems and issues in that first half. But it did look pretty good. Like, Liverpool were in control. Everton were just trying to obviously hit Liverpool in the counter-attack. But Liverpool was strong. Liverpool were quick. They were industrious in that midfield. Like Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, who I think is an excellent player, neat and tidy. I thought he played brilliantly in the game that he played. I thought Szoboszlai was brilliant. I thought Trent moving into that more inverted role. You see how much better this whole formation works when he's in it. Like, trying to play Joe Gomez in that midfield is a complete contrast to what Trent offers in that midfield. Trent dropping in that midfield, able to turn with the ball and then play passes out wide and obviously find his range of passing. Brilliant. And it complemented that midfield very well, in my opinion. Gomez obviously doesn't have the same range of passing, so it looks more fluid and it looks so much more smoother, shall we say, in transition when obviously Trent is in that midfield over Gomez. So I thought the system worked great today. Love the midfield of seeing Gravenberch. Every time I see him, he continues to impress me more and more. I thought Tsimikas did well to deputise for the injured Andy Robertson. I thought he made a few good crosses, passes, whatever it may be, and supported Luis Diaz pretty well down that left-hand side. Hopefully we get to see more of that going forward, because I do think he's got quite the left foot on him. So I am interested and excited to see him more and more, obviously, with Andy Robertson injured. Like I say, I love the midfield. Trent was great. Van Dijk was solid. Didn't put a foot wrong. Alisson was a complete passenger. I think apart from one very simple save from Dominic Calvert-Lewin in the opening seconds maybe of the game, opening maybe minute of the game, I don't think Alisson Becker had anything to do in that game at all. A complete passenger, but he'll take the clean sheet. We don't really get many of them at Liverpool, so we'll take the clean sheet. Diaz was lively. Diaz was a threat all game. Salah had one of his quiet games, which is mad to say that he obviously got 2 goals, but one of them, of course, was from the penalty spot, but we'll get more onto him a little later. And I thought Jota was good. I thought Jota actually... So I've been very critical of Jota in the past, but I will give him credit. I thought he was very good. I thought he was very dangerous whenever he got on the ball, and obviously played very well indeed. But like I say, in saying all that, when everyone playing very well, the final third just wasn't clicking. And it wasn't clicking for the first half. And it definitely wasn't clicking in the second half when Everton got reduced to 10 men. Ashley Young sent off in the first half for 2 yellow card offences. And I have to applaud the referee. I have to applaud the referee on this one because he got it right. They were 2 yellow card offences. 100% correct. We obviously heard Howard Webb talking about the aftermath of the Manchester City-Arsenal game, in which he said that Michael Oliver may have got it wrong in not sending off Kovacic, whether it be for a straight red card for the first challenge or a second yellow for the second challenge, but also said that he knew that Michael Oliver doesn't want to have a negative effect on the game, doesn't want to send a player off to affect the game. Now, I will say in this situation, the red card did seem to affect the game in a negative way. It damaged it. It definitely did, because once the red card happened, Sean Dyche sat 10 men behind the ball and tried to play for a point. It did affect the game. But that's not a bad thing, because we know as fans, and as what we've been calling out for all these past couple of weeks when we talked about that situation, that particular one, if a player's got to go, a player's got to go. And in that one, Ashley Young should have been sent off and was rightly sent off, correctly so. It affected the game, but the right decision was made. If he wasn't, we'd be sat here going, well, why wasn't he sent off? That's strange to me. Confusing. He was correctly sent off, in my opinion, and rightly so. And, you know, again, I hold my hands up and I applaud the referee on that one. The second half happens. Liverpool are in control. Oh, just one more thing on the referee point, sorry. Like I say, so him doing that did damage the game, but it was the right decision. Like I say, I just want to clarify. I don't know if I was clear or not, but yeah, it's nice that they changed their opinion on that. Now, if we can just get some consistency, which ironically later on in the game didn't happen with Ibrahima Konate, but we'll get into that a little later. That'd be great. Second half happens. Liverpool are in complete control. Everton make a couple of substitutions to sit back, 10 men behind the ball, proper Sean Dyche style. You got like a throwback, a trip down memory lane of playing Burnley every week back in the days of Sean Dyche. Everton try and set up for a point, and then the controversy strikes. Ibrahima Konate gets booked. Fine, fair enough. Definite yellow card. And then, moments later, he makes another poor challenge. Now, not a malicious challenge. A poor challenge as in, Everton are going to counter-attack, and he pulls him back. This was after the substitutions of Darwin Núñez and Harvey Elliott. Konate makes a cynical challenge and gets away with it. Now, I would be a hypocrite if I was to sit here and say that, it is what it is. You know, I would be wrong to sit here and also say after what we've had to put up with for the past couple of weeks, with the controversial moment against Brighton, and obviously the absolute robbery that was against Tottenham from referees, I'd be wrong to say that we are owed one, as much as I want to say it, because obviously it's my team. But no, in all seriousness, it's wrong. Konate 100% should have been sent off, and Klopp knows that. And the reason why Klopp knows that is because Joel Matip came on moments later as a replacement for Konate. Simply put, Klopp knew he should have been sent off. We all know he should have been sent off, and it's wrong. And again, the referee has something to own up on and talk about. The unfortunate thing is, and again, I will defend Everton a little bit here, is that just it's because it's Everton, no one's going to talk about it. That's the issue I've got. No one's going to be talking about this tomorrow. No one's going to be on radio stations or podcasts or whatever it may be on any kind of platform talking about that incident and saying Konate should have been sent off. It'll be swept under the carpet. Liverpool were probably going to win anyway, and I think maybe in hindsight, maybe having Konate sent off might have enticed Everton to come out a little bit and play more, which may have actually helped Liverpool in the long run. So maybe the red card might have actually helped the game more. But as it happened, it didn't happen, and the referee is 100% wrong for not sending him off. Again, you can talk about subjectivity on these kinds of fouls and stuff, but given what happened in the first half, given what happened here, given what we've known about referees in the past, this one should have been a red card for Konate for 2 bookable offences. Wasn't given, and Liverpool get away with one there. Would it have affected the game? I'm not entirely sure. I don't think it would have. I still think Liverpool would have had enough firepower to actually overcome Everton in the end. And like I said, I think the 10 men versus 10 men situation might have actually helped Liverpool a little bit, because Everton were frustrating Liverpool with having 10 men behind the ball. The 10 men versus 10 men thing might have enticed Everton, like I say, to maybe come out of the shell a little bit, maybe fancy their chances a little bit more, and Liverpool might have used that to their advantage a little bit, like they were doing well when it was 11v11, and they were playing some good stuff, and obviously they were moments away, or just a split decision away from obviously getting something good out of the game in terms of a goal. But eventually the breakthrough does come, and it is through a penalty after Luis Diaz wins the penalty for crossing the ball, which strikes the arm of Michael Keane. Now, some might say it's controversial, some might say it's harsh, but the guy is literally waiting for a bus. The guy has literally got his arm out, stretched, waiting for a bus. That's how you call for a bus when you're waiting at a bus stop. The guy is doing that to block the ball. He's therefore making his body bigger to block the ball, and that is of course what happened. He blocked the ball with his arm. Clear penalty, clear handball, and Mohammed Salah, with ice running through his veins, ice cold, killer instinct finisher, nerves of steel, steps up, converts the penalty. 1-0 Liverpool. And from there, that was it. Game over. That was it. Game over. Mohammed Salah gets the goal. Liverpool continue to probe. The game goes dead. The game goes a bit silent. Everton are not doing anything of note. Harvey Elliott tries his luck from distance, forces a fantastic save from Jordan Pickford. I've got to say, it was a fantastic save from Jordan Pickford to tip it onto the crossbar from Harvey Elliott. I thought Harvey Elliott, by the way, was good. I thought he was very, very good when he came on. He was neat, he was tidy, kept things ticking over. And of course, like I say, very unfortunate that his brilliant effort from distance was only denied by an equally brilliant save from Jordan Pickford. Hey, I'm not Pickford's biggest fan either, but I've got to give credit where credit is due. And then, of course, as the game wears on, Everton try and throw a bit more caution to the wind. They go further forward, only for Liverpool, like I say, to hit them on the break, which is why I say the red card for Konate might have actually benefited Liverpool, because this situation actually did occur. Everton went further forward in the hopes that maybe they could try and nick a goal back and get an equaliser and take a point. Didn't happen. Instead, Liverpool counter-attacked through Darwin Núñez, and I've got to say, very intelligent play and very unselfish play from Darwin Núñez not to go on his own. I feel like the Darwin Núñez of last year would have gone on his own to try and prove a point, but I think this year his overall play is very much improving. It's a vast improvement from Darwin Núñez I've seen all season, not just in terms of this game and this cameo appearance that he made today, but his overall game this season has very much improved, and this is another example of that. Rather than be selfish and run the ball himself and go for goal, he gets his head up, he sees the run of Mohammed Salah, he plays him in, and Salah has the most simplest of finishers to bag himself a brace and to obviously wrap up the 3 points in the victory for Liverpool. Brilliant counter-attack, superb from Darwin Núñez, and a very simplistic finish from Mohammed Salah, who increases his goal tally, and he's back in the running and he's up and running again. So Salah, brilliant, absolutely brilliant, and it's another brace. He scored twice, didn't he, against Brighton, I want to say. I think he did. Yes, he did. Yeah, he did. So another brace for Mohammed Salah, absolutely exceptional from him, and he's obviously going after that golden boot again. Like I say, the win, superb. Beating Everton, sweet. Absolutely sweet. Love it. Love beating Everton. Like, I had very little doubts going into this game. I thought that I always had the concern that maybe they're going to cheese it and maybe they're going to absolutely pack out the defence to maybe grind out a 0-0 draw or something like that. But Liverpool stuck to their task well. They continued to probe. Like I say, they got extremely fortunate with the referee, and that's obviously wrong. And like I say, it would have helped Liverpool. I think the referee would be doing Liverpool a favour if it actually did go down to 10 men for the Reds. But like I say, Liverpool get back to winning ways. Solid win against Everton. Big 3 points. Bragging rights in the Merseyside derby. Fall to the Reds. Jurgen Klopp's side back on top of the Premier League, where I want to see them. But of course, like I said, I'm not getting ahead of myself just yet. I love it. I love the fact that we won. I love the fact that we're back to winning ways. It was a very good performance for the most part. Obviously, I can't really take the whole performance because obviously the circumstance of the red card did change the game, change the scenario and everything. But it's 3 points. It's a big win. It means now we can enjoy the rest of our weekend. We can now prepare for the Europa League game on Thursday. It's a 12:30 game that we had to overcome, and we did so, I'd say, pretty much with ease. It wasn't completely plain sailing, but for the most part it was with ease to an extent, because Everton just didn't look like scoring. Even when it was 11v11, they just did not look like scoring at all. Everton, on their part, extremely poor. I don't really know what to make of Everton. They picked up a couple of surprising results this season, but they're just poor. They're just really, really poor. They showed nothing in this game. And I know that obviously, like I say, the red card did change things, but again, I'm not. I don't know. It's just a difficult one to call for Everton. But Merseyside derby win, 3 points. Reds back on top. Couldn't be any more happier. Couldn't be happier. Like I say, controversy, yes, but yeah, that should be discussed. We shouldn't brush that under the carpet by any means or stretching the imagination. We got away with one there. And I know that people say, well, the luck balances itself out across the season, and to an extent, yes, it did. But it's still wrong. It's still wrong. Konate should have been sent off, and we shouldn't be sat here celebrating that fact and being hypocritical of that fact when, of course, we made such a massive deal about not only the Tottenham situation a couple of weeks ago, but, of course, the Brighton situation in our last game as well, where they should have had a man sent off for the foul on Szoboszlai, which led to the penalty. But I digress. Brilliant result. Couldn't be happier. I like the midfield. I like Trent in the inverted fullback role. It's going to be interesting to see how that kind of plays out when we do face a more attacking outfit, and where obviously the opposition has a left winger that is going to probably target that area. It's going to be interesting to see how we cope with that. So, for the most part, going forward and attacking wise, again, couldn't be happier. Clean sheet to boot, extra sweeter, but bigger and more interesting tests to come for the Reds, I'm sure, going forward. But those are just my thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, on this match reaction on Liverpool beating Everton by 2-0. Would love to know what you guys think and feel on this. Your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it. Make for great interesting reading down below in the comment section, I'm sure. Otherwise, hit the like button on the right if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new and want to see more content like this. Both things always and forever be greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another instant match reaction. Come on, you Reds! Top of the table, Liverpool. 2-0, beating Everton. Merseyside derby triumph. Couldn't be happier. I'm going to sit back, watch the rest of the football. The Brighton-Manchester City game is just about to kick off, so that one should be interesting. The obviously big one tonight. Man United, Sheffield United. No, I'm joking. Arsenal, Chelsea, of course. That is to come later on. That's going to be a very interesting tie indeed. Can't wait to watch that encounter. And then, as I alluded to, of course, for your Saturday night viewing, it is Manchester United against Sheffield United. What a way for Sheffield United to get their first win of the season. I'm joking, of course. I highly doubt it. I want it to happen. I pray that Sheffield United get their first victory of the season against Manchester United. What a story that would be, and what a day that would be for Liverpool. But, of course, I highly doubt it. But, hey, we can all have our fingers crossed and dream, right? Anyway, I'm rambling now. Yeah. Thanks to everyone for watching. Take care. See you in the next video, live stream, or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday.